the room and celebrate Maddie's market that she just got right before this call.
Oh my
Congrats.
gosh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. And honestly, it couldn't have brought any more hype to what our call is about tonight.
Yeah.
So I'm just really excited. Um, we're basically okay, so I forget what call it was. It was with I can't even tell you off the top of my head right now, but one thing that stood out to me was A plus B does not always equal C in this business, which is why these training calls are so, so good because some things are going to resonate with you guys and some things aren't. Some things are going to work for you and other things are going to work with other people, right? So the reason why we do these calls and let other people speak to their testimonies and stuff is just because obviously something is working for Maddie over here, and we all want the juice. We all want the secret sauce. We all want what's going on, and so we're gonna let Maddie kind of take over. Let her share what she's got going on because she has amazing points for you guys tonight. I was just talk with her a little bit on what she's gonna bring to you all, and it's good. So if you guys are attentive, like with your notebook and paper and pen, get it out. She's got some good takeaways. But Maddie, without further ado, babe, let's get into what your potential conversations are looking like with VIPs. What's working for you? Give it to us, babe.
Yeah. So I'm so freaking excited. I have three like crazy important points that I've just kind of implementing as like what is it, IPA? Like how I'm the producing, I don't even know what IPA stands for again. Income producing, what is it?
Activity.
There we go. Dang. Okay. Yeah. I don't even know all the blurs of this stuff. I just show up, duplicate what people telling me, and I win out here. So the first, and to be honest, for me, it's been, I would say the second important, but I want to point out first that content. I have been really, really focusing on content lately because all of these different calls that I've just been on the girls, like I just see, SED, AED, whatever, the girls that are like out here living the dream, going on trips, like their posts are fire. And I don't mean by, like how they make and their editing skills, whatever. I'm just saying like they are inspiring questions. They're like getting people curious. So first thing is content. So content is not what has been getting me VIPs. It has been planting seeds of curiosity so that when I reach my next point, I'm kind of jumping ahead, but reaching out, they go hand in hand. So um I know me and Courtney talked about like doing a content post, but I don't want to make it too much of that, or content call, which I would love to. I've figured all this stuff out and I'm so happy about it. But the content I've been posting has just been a lot of the products that I've tried, I've loved. Me being real and raw. Not all of my stuff is necessarily about the business. I've kind of branded myself with, I don't know if how many of you guys like follow me on Instagram, but with like kind of my niche and like my why into it. So like all of the pillars that are super important to me, as long as or along with my journey with my hair, like going from blonde to brown, and thinking that was just like okay, and using Amika. Let me not even get into that, but that was not working for me. So I'm kind of, inspiring curiosity in people for that reason. So the content backs me up and it builds trust with people. So people are seeing that I'm using it. I'm on my stories. I'm being real and authentic. There was this one thing where I was scared to post where I tried the sleep drops and I put them directly on my tongue. And if anybody has tried the sleep drops, you know that that taste is so potent and strong. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is so like, I don't know. But then I came back on my story and I was like, oh yeah, by the way, I totally did this wrong because I'm not a genius at by any means at this business. I just am trying new things and telling people what I like, and that's real, like that's relatable. So um kind of to skip ahead from that, like what I did and what you can, start doing just to give you a little bit of content ideas. I really try to make it a goal to post one time a day and show up on my story every day. That seems like a lot, but again, another content video is coming soon for you guys, maybe next month or so, about how I schedule my reels so that I'm not, posting every day. Like I spend a couple, like maybe an hour or so once a week organizing all of my stuff, and then they post at the same time every single day. So that's super beneficial for me. It gives me time to just refresh on me and pouring into my own cup, and that's also been important. Show up daily, talk on your stories, be vulnerable, be you. Do not nobody does you like you do you. So that is so incredibly important.
And we're gonna say that emphasizes on the whole thing that we say is people aren't necessarily buying these products as much as they are
Mhm.
buying you. You know, really not the products that they're like most excited about, even though those that have like big concerns and ready to like make a change with their hair and skin. Yes, definitely. But when you can show up authentically, it gives people such a space to be able to be open with you and talk with you and relate with you. So, Maddie, like with your content, because I just working a little bit with you on this, how has like I feel like sometimes when you're having these conversations with your potential, they're actually they're coming to you saying, "Oh,
Mhm.
I saw your hair look like that in that last reel you did." And it goes back to what you were just saying. Your content is essentially proof of what it's like, backing you up of what you're going to be talking about in these potential conversations, like in the DMs. And I just, it's been multiple times that's
Yeah, it's honestly, I think it's been every time. Like I've gotten a lot of no's, and they've ended up being not right nows, not necessarily no's. And once they started seeing them, I can recall, one time on 4th of July where one of my coworkers, she was like, "Well, I don't have enough money. What?" Man, I love that objection because I'm starting to kind of work around that. But like, "Oh, I don't have enough money, whatever." And then I just kind of just start talking to her, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go tone up my hair. Like, I don't know if I'll have money to, buy something." Like, girl, this is for you so that you do not have to go spend money and waste money on putting chemicals in your hair that are gonna brighten your hair whenever I have something that's going to be less than that tremendously and last you so much longer. Look what it did to my hair on this reel. And it ended up being the same day. She was like, "Oh my gosh, your hair is so icy blonde. Let's do it. Like, let me do it." And then automatically she had money, right? Like people want to see what they're buying and see that it works. Everybody knows that toning works because you see it, you know?
it's bring the value and the content, the bring can be shown in the content that you are producing, and therefore when you're having these conversations, you're you're able to just have such a like trustworthy conversation because you are showing up that way. So it just flows in your conversations, and I think you've just had a lot of that.
Right. Yeah. Um, there's been a lot of conversations. If I talked about all of them, then I would run out of time. But there's just been so many times where I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like if you are like, looking for talk about BB cream, something that I've been loving, like look at it, like what it did to my skin. Oh my gosh, your skin really does look good. Like, how can I get that?" Boom. Like when they see it, like people have to felt stuff before they get it. So that's been another thing, that's been working. Polls, being excited about what you're sharing, not just coming on there like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I use this." Like, be freaking excited because these products are amazing. They are amazing. I would not be on my story dedicating my whole, social media to that. So that kind of just goes hand in hand with reaching out, which is my second point. So I got super discouraged when I first started because I was like, I had so many people responding to my polls when I did like one first poll. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, everybody's going to respond." Anytime that I post a poll, you better know that I barely get any responses on those. Sometimes I get zero questions answered, but I just keep showing up because people weren't, typing on it. They don't know that you're not getting anything. They have no idea. And so kind of just like being consistent that even if you're not seeing results is also important too. I reached out to one of those, yeah. I reached out to one of my friends the other day and I was just like asking how she was doing and kind of just, subtly bringing up what I've been doing because if I love something, I'm going to share it with people. That's just what this is. Like, this is what this is. So, she was like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, like I saw like what it did to your hair on that post. What do you use?" Boom. I don't have to be telling like this is the advanced hydrating conditioner that I use that I get to put it on your hair, make it look good, and people are going to be curious about it. Point blank, period. Um, Another thing too with when you want to reach out, let's say after you're done with your content, you kind of like get the ball rolling. Look who is viewing your stuff and liking your stuff the most. I've realized, another tip for you guys, that people on my story, the people that are at the top of my story, are looking at my profile the most. So I'll go in and, I'll just start conversation with them. Like, and in this business, there was a lot of times where I just was like, "Man, I don't really like, care." But then like once I started to like, I think once I got that bonus, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this like legit could help people." Like I want to talk to people and like figure out what's going on in their lives, because if I can share an opportunity like this or a product that is going to make them feel confident, seen, heard, all the things, like that is the best gift that I could ever give. I don't know about you guys, but that's just kind of like, where I'm at. Um, so see who likes your stuff, see who likes your story, see who follows you, like messaging people that just start following you. I'm trying to read my next point, but it's like super blurry. Oh, and don't always try to sell. Like if there's not an opportunity, I think that's something, that didn't really work for me. Is just like I was like, well, how can I talk about this business talking to Courtney and Alyssa? And they were like, girl, you don't even know a pain point yet. Like, keep talking to them. And it just kind of went to that point, was like, I didn't really care. And so, you know, what's also been important for me to start caring is like start asking God and spending more time with God in the morning before I do anything, and asking him to soften my heart, to ask him to help me and lead me to people that genuinely need this and like genuinely need help. And I know it sounds kind of silly because I kind of chuckled when I said it to myself, but these products like can change your life, and not even just from the product standpoint, but like the business too. And so putting God first has just done literally everything for me. It keeps me grounded, it keeps me humble, it keeps me patient, not all the time, but I have that firm foundation to fall back on, when things don't go right. And so yeah, keep going, keep being consistent. That's the next one. I keep going ahead, but look at it as, you can look at it as in self-improvement too. Like, why the reason that people don't reach out and the reason that I didn't reach out is because I'm like, what if they think I'm just dumb and like they don't really want it? Then they don't want it, and that is totally okay. There's a lot of people that just like they don't want to do that. Like they don't care necessarily about taking care of themselves, and that's just the reality. Like, you can show the horse, where to drink the water, but you can't make them drink the water. Like, if they want it and they want it for themselves, like there's nothing wrong that you could say, wrong that you can do, that is going to diminish them for, buying the product or signing up, all of those things. I know this is about VIP, but I feel like those kind of go hand in hand. So, having a different mindset when it comes to that, like, okay, you reach out and like, they don't even talk about, you don't even talk about shampoo. I have 10 conversations, I counted before I got on this call, that are not about shampoo. It can be a lot, but like, I kind of thought about it. I'm like, dang, like I'm actually building connections, and like I'm getting out there, I'm being social, I'm getting to know people. Like, this is awesome too. Like, this is what this business is about. And maybe it's not something, they're interested in right now, but when you build connections with people and you genuinely care about their life, they're going to genuinely care about your life, because not a lot of people are doing that. I know I don't have people commenting, on my stuff or messaging me, just asking how I'm doing. Like, it's most of the time because they want something from you. And so when you come with that authenticity and you are genuine, like people are going to be like, wow, but like, look at her hair. And like, she's like, wow, she's so nice. Like, why wouldn't I want to support her? I had a girl the other day, I have no idea who she is, from a different state, on TikTok. I literally reached out to her about what stood out from my TikTok to her. And we started talking about exes and all these different things. She's like, oh my gosh, I saw that you like sell shampoo. Your hair looks great. What do you like? How can I get it? What? I'm sorry. The fact this is like a business that I have is nuts. So, the third point I want to roll into, I don't really know how much time I have left, but is consistency. When you are not seeing results, keep being consistent. Going back to what didn't work for me is last month, I see Courtney smiling over there. Last month, I got super complacent because I hit A and B halfway through the month, and I was like, oh, that was my goal. Okay, I'm good. And I stopped having conversations. I kept posting because I, made that promise to myself, but I stopped having connections. I stopped reaching out. In the first half of this month, guys, I am struggling. I feel like all I'm doing is having conversations with people. And to be honest, like it feels like it's barely going anywhere. But like when you're consistent, all of those people that I signed up and got hair products right, I'm like using the term signed up, like that I help with their hair or skin were all people's I built connections with the month previous to that. And so that's what this is about. Like, you have to build those connections. Like, people don't like salesy people. People don't like pushy people. And if they're not having a real connection with you and like you're not genuinely like caring about their problems, I wouldn't really want to buy from anybody else either. You know, that is just me being completely honest. And so, um, yeah, it's definitely been a little bit slower. And I was talking to Courtney. I was like, man, like I'm leading calls for VIPs, but like, you know, I had 6, 7 VIPs last month, and I've struggled to get 2 this month. And, you know, I have some pretty big goals for myself, but this is where people usually get up. Like, you have to just keep being consistent. You don't seeing results, it doesn't matter. Keep going. You have to be consistent. Like, this is a consistent job just with everything in life. Like, my thing is just like I'll be laying in bed the other night and I was just like, this is where people give up. This is where people stop. This is where people are like, oh, 3 months in, oh, it didn't work for me. No, this is just, you're like, think of like a hedge. Okay. You're like on a hedge and you're going over. Like, what if you just like dropped and fell on the floor and you were like right there over the hedge and like the grass is green, whatever. So that being said, kind of wrapping up some of my points, and I'll let Courtney add some stuff if she needs to, but content, reaching out, building connections, consistency have all been things that just have really worked for me. And just doing something every day, that is just going to help me help others. That's really, I think, all I have to say. I don't even know what time it is, but yeah.
No, girl, you are good. Like, you still have time on this call if you want to say anything else, because we're here to learn from you. But really, what it comes down to is just all the things that you do in this business. Like, it's being consistent. Like, when I get on the call and I'm like, share your secret sauce, there is no secret sauce. Like, you're just doing what you're supposed to do in this business, and that's just being that's showing up as a genuine, authentic version of you. So your people will come to you, and it's not a struggle for you. It doesn't matter if you have 7 VIPs 1 month, 2 VIPs the next, a million. What matters is how you continue to show up during that, and that's what we really admire, because it shows in your content, which was a point that needed to be discussed tonight. You've been getting a lot of leads from your content alone. And it comes down to the energy that you give off. Like, if someone has turned you down, say no to you, you find a way around the objective if the shoe fits. But what you also do is you switch the subject and like, okay, well, look, the door's always open for you. These products are freaking bomb. Like, you give that confidence, and you're like, it's the weekend. Like, what do you got planned? Exciting. And you just go back to treating them like a normal human being. And to be honest with you guys, in this industry, I feel like there's other people, like, they almost, in a sense of like not getting to know someone, not treating people like people, just like sales. Whereas Maddie, what I'm learning from Maddie, and just what I'm loving, seeing from you, is just how you're able to just switch that, but maintain that confidence demeanor in your conversation, in your presence. And to be honest with you, that is why your no's have transitioned into yeses so fast. Because when says no to you, they almost want to see like your reaction. I feel like, right? Like, oh,
okay, I was gonna say that, but I don't want to come off some type of way. But for real, it is with the girl that I signed up on the 4th of July. Like, she was one of my coworkers, and I've been like, I kind of had some, issues with her. We're good now. We talked about it. It's fine. Just server stuff. If anybody's been in the industry, let me know, because I could definitely use some motivation. But or whatever, that's fun. But she was just like, kind of just kept brushing me off, and like, once I detached from the outcome, like, you're not a VIP until you're a VIP. You're not a VIP when I send you your cards. You're not a VIP whenever I'm, you send me your like information. Like, you're a VIP when you are a VIP. And just because you're not VIP doesn't mean you're not a person as well. Like, I'm not reaching out to people, that I don't think that I can help. Like, I see an issue and I'm like, oh my gosh, like if she just knew that she could save money by using the shampoo that freaking smells bomb and that makes her hair icy, like she won't have to spend money. I've been seeing how it's been stressing her out. And so it's like, I'm not losing anything. Yeah, like, I'm missing out on a VIP, but like you have to detach from that because that energy that comes off of you when you are just like, no, but I like, I need a VIP, need a VIP. Like, what if it's not supposed to happen this month? I don't know. Like, I mean, doesn't mean stop trying, but like just detach from the outcome. And that is when I just saw like so much change. Like when I just fully trusted God, not even just detached from the outcome. I was just like, God, like, I know this is like shampoo and there's like different problems in the world right now, but like, I'm just going to surrender to you. Like, I believe you brought me this business to help me out and to be around women who also love you and want to help other people. But like, to be honest, my first month was just, money, money, money. And I was like, no, I want the money, but like, I know that will come when I'm being faithful to you, surrendering it to you and genuinely wanting to help people. Like, that's why I succeed. Like I've changed my mindset. I've detached. My life still goes on, even if I don't get a sale or, maybe I miss a mark that I'm supposed to hit, like it still goes on. It doesn't mean that I get complacent though, like I did last month, because um that's just, it has nothing to do with motivation. It's with discipline. Like you have to have discipline. There's times where I just am like in my bed and I'm like, do I really think I could be a millionaire with shampoo? Girl, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Talk
Yeah.
nice to yourself. Like, yes, other people can do it. You're doing the same thing. You're so like, you're gonna do it. Talk nice to yourself. And another thing too, like I know this is about VIPs, but mindset truly is everything. And once you start talking nice to yourself, like yourself, like almost you reward yourself by doing that. Like if you aren't nice to yourself, you're just, like weighing yourself down. And how can you help others when you're not pouring into yourself either? Like when your cup is halfway full, like you can only give some people so much. Like pour into yourself and give people the overflow. I saw that today and I thought that was like so awesome. Yeah, I agree, Tina.
Words you think or say matters. It's so true.
But I was gonna open it for questions. I know we usually do that and like about anything, whatever, or if you have anything else to say.
Yeah, unmute yourself or just drop it in the chat, you guys. Like if you want something specific on if maybe you're struggling in an area and happen to get IPs, something specific on the conversations itself, like please ask, because this is such an awesome opportunity that we don't get that often, like once a week that we're all on a call together. Ask away, and because I would even like to hear some more specifics from you, Maddie, if anyone has questions.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead, teens.
I'll ask something. Maddie, so like let's say you have like a potential VIP, right? And you ask them, they tell you no. How long do you wait? How much do you actually like keep the conversation going? Do you just let them be? Do you wait a week and like they comment and then you're like, "Oh, hey, this is for you," or how do you go about like bringing it back up to a potential?
So usually if it's like I've only gotten one, I am not interested. One complete, I'm not interested. She tried the products before, they didn't work for her hair. I genuinely was like, dang, someone probably got her the wrong product. Like that sucks. She's not really able to like reap the benefits of good products. So she was like, like, no, thank you. I'm really not interested. And I'm like, okay, girl, totally fine. Like I don't want to push somebody, past that point, but they're still gonna be looking on my page. And that's where the content comes in and like think about, what I said. Oh, dang, like that really sucks. Like I'm always like here, like open, maybe someone got you wrong products, whatever. But then changing it up, being like, oh, like if like one of the girls I knew she was going somewhere, I'm like, oh, how was your trip to Italy or whatever she went? I don't remember. And we start talking about that because when you kind of detach from that, it's like, oh, this girl's not just like wanting me for business. Like maybe she really is trying to help my hair. Duh. I think they just build that type of trust with you. And like I said, like content backs me up. And if it's someone who was like the girl who signed up a month later, we're just like, oh, I don't have money. They kind of hit you with those objections, kind of making it better for them, being like, hey, like I'm in this business, like love you long time. Love this business long time. I'm in it. Like, however much you need to save up, like freaking save up and I got you. And I keep hitting them. Another thing, that's a great question, Tina, too. I wait for the sales. If it has anything to do with what they wanted or what's in their cart, those sales be like, oh my gosh, like I know you said you waiting for some money come in, but I just couldn't let this like pass up. Like we have such a crazy sale going on right now. Like, do you mind if I send you some updated carts? And I'm like, oh yeah, for sure. If there's sales, why not? I buy myself stuff on sale. I don't ever not wait for sales. Sales are the best. So I do that. Following up, genuinely just creating connections and not just being about, making a sale. Like making connection in the sale will follow. It always does.
What about, I'll ask real quick too, because your perspective on this. At what point in the conversation, like when you have these connections rolling, at what point are you asking them about the product? Like, do you ever just come out and say like, hey, well, I don't know if you saw from my content or my page about these products. I'd love to get you on them. Like, do you do that, or have you been waiting on people to ask you about the products?
Usually I kind of venture out a little bit. I see people that, have like such great hair and, it kind of just like, I feel like we're women, like we love talking about ourselves and what we're using and sharing stuff like that is just like, we love it. I love it. I know everybody else loves it. I'll start a conversation with people, usually with who's ever reacting on my polls, my stories, liking my stuff. Or just like, I'm like, oh my gosh, she could really benefit from this. I see like, not to sound like, mean, I would never tell anybody this, but if I see someone that like, I can tell that they're not confident about their hair because I was that person, I'll reach out and build a connection and they will either bring it up or I will kind of gear the conversation to something about hair or skin. Like I'll slightly drop it in. So I'll give you an example. So let's say one of these girls, Alyssa's, I'm like, oh my gosh, your hair is so freaking blonde. I feel like your hair just like stays that color. It's so freaking beautiful. The only reason that my hair is as blonde as it is because I use this Violet Light shampoo. I absolutely freaking love it. It smells amazing. And it's saving me so much money from going back to the salon so much. And it's, healing my hair. Oh, didn't you go to a concert? How was that? And they're like, oh, like, yeah, this concert's good. Wait, what's that Violet Light stuff you're talking about? Oh, it's just this purple shampoo that's just like so freaking awesome. And I know a lot of people's pain points are money. They're like, they don't want to be sold stuff. And like, oh my gosh, you need to try this. Like nobody likes being told like, oh, you need to try this without like, nobody likes unsolicited advice. I mean, sometimes people do, but very rarely. And especially with women, I've noticed like if I just go in, balls to the wall, like you need to try this product, doesn't really work out. If it's my friends, one of my friends, Cassidy, I love her. She has great blonde hair and she keeps frying her hair at the salon because she wants to go tone it. I'm like, please stop doing that and just use this purple shampoo. Let me wash your hair. Come over. Let me wash your hair. I'm going to show you it works. And then you're going to buy it. And she bought it because that is just how our relationship is. Like, that's how I am. I'm spunky. I'm straightforward. I'm to the point. Like, if you don't want it, that's fine. You're not gonna hurt my feelings, but go wash my next salon, girl. But that's the relationship I have with her. So depending on the relationships, that's how I respond.
No, I love how you had that because you didn't even sell the purple Violet Light shampoo. You sold the solution of money outside of the salon and stopping like frying your hair and stuff. And then the swift little, but hey, I saw you went to a concert over the weekend. How was that? I honestly, I'm going to start doing that because that is such a good way to get it out there, like plant the seed, but then let them know like, what? That's actually not why I'm in your DMs. I saw you went to a concert. That was awesome. It looked good. How was it? I think that is awesome.
Right. And if it doesn't work out every time like that, it's okay because it's happened a lot to me. The girl actually I was telling about, like, she's like, oh, what do you like? Oh, don't you use Monat? And I'm like, yeah, I love it. It's healed my hair. It's, whatever. She's like, heard it makes your hair fall out. I'm like, oh my gosh, girl, I would not be using stuff to make my hair fall out. Where did you hear this? Like acting like I don't know that people are saying that. Kind of being oblivious to them, like I just use it and I would never use something that makes my hair fall out, not trying to be aggressive with it. Like, no, it doesn't. And here's why. Like, what? No, I wouldn't use my hair something like my hair is awesome. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Literally acting
Yeah.
oblivious to all the objections. Like, well,
I
know.
think it is such a good point, especially for those that are like that. Like, wait, it makes your hair fall out. But I think that can be addressed as opposed to what you just said. Like, I think it's so quick to like, oh my gosh, I gotta prove this person why your hair does not fall out on these products, as opposed to just being like, yeah, it makes your hair fall out, and yet I have the most like the best hair of my life right now. Like, I think coming back at any kind of rebuttal or objection like that with confidence, I think that is the key. Confidence before like, I think that speaks more volume of like, oh wait, like, yeah, you're right. What am I talking about? And then
Yeah.
you come back and say, well, maybe you thought that because, I mean, yeah. And then maybe that's when you insert a little bit of, of the education point. But
Yeah.
I think that was brilliant. I know it's a little bit past 9, so we'll wrap it up here. But Maddie, you're doing the dang thing. Your team, we are all here behind you. We are rooting for you. So thank you for being open to this and